Hey Shar and Legacy team, it's Dr. Sean. Hey, I want to take a few minutes to talk to you and really the whole Australia New Zealand team about a couple of the Amare products. Now, you're probably expecting me to talk about Happy Juice, and I know that Happy Juice isn't quite there yet in Australia. Depending on when you're watching this video, it's coming soon, and this is going to be a really good thing because Happy Juice is really the world's first and only overall gut-brain axis system. It works on the microbiome, it works on your gut integrity, it works by using nootropics and adaptogens, it works on your stress response and your cognitive ability in your brain. So it really is the only product out there that is effectively linking together your two most important brains, the one in your head and the one in your heart, and to a certain degree, the third one that you have in your heart. So those are coming. We'll talk all about them. We'll talk about psychobiotics. We'll talk about nootropics and adaptogens and all those kinds of things when the time is right. But what I want to focus on now is to talk about the triangle of health, which really is the flagship product there. And in a lot of markets outside of the United States, Triangle is where you've built your business and where you can continue building your business. So let me set it up like this. I'm a nutritional biochemist. That is what my PhD is in. But I've been studying for the past 20 years or so. I've been studying what nowadays is called nutritional psychology. So my work involves looking at a particular nutrient or a particular diet or a particular product and how that natural product will change your biochemistry. So I look at stress hormones like cortisol. I look at neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine and GABA and things like that. I'll look at inflammatory markers like cytokines. But then I also look at not just the biochemical change of that dietary ingredient, but then how does that biochemical change result in a psychological change? How does it change your stress levels or your mood or your tension or your anxiety or whatever the case may be? So that nowadays is called nutritional psychology, using nutrition to change the biochemistry, to change how you feel. And I've written 14 different books in that area. This is the most recent one that's come out. It's called Mental Fitness. It's all about the brain-body biome. So it talks about the microbiome, and it talks about the gut, and it talks about the heart, and it talks about the brain, and everything that connects it in between, the nervous system and the immune system, and etc. But prior to this 14th book, one of my books, bestseller, was called The Secret of Vigor. Vigor is a psychological mood state that is sort of like overall well-being. When you have high vigor, you have good energy levels, physical energy. You have good mental acuity, so your brain works well. You have good resilience. The opposite of vigor in psychology research is burnout, and a lot of you have heard of burnout before. So you don't want to be burned out. The opposite of that is vigor. That's what everybody wants. And in this book, if you went through this book, you would see it talking about a concept that I have called the pillars of health. Those pillars are oxidation, which is how your cells get damaged, inflammation, which is how your cells can repair themselves or not, blood flow, something called glycation, which is involved in blood sugar control, stress hormones. You get the idea. So I'm talking about biochemical aspects and how they're related to mental and physical health. So this book was written 10 or 12 years ago. State-of-the-art science then, still state-of-the-art science now. At that time, I really didn't know that these products existed on the market. Here's Sunrise. Well, I did know they existed. I knew about Kiani, but wasn't affiliated. So Sunrise is as an antioxidant product that solves that biochemical problem of oxidation. If you're over-oxidized, your cells are getting damaged. This one, Sunset, is a natural balancer of the inflammatory cascade, right? So we can say inflammation without thinking it's a disease or anything like that. This is how your cells repair themselves. So if you're overinflamed, they can't repair themselves. Actually, if you're underinflamed, they can't repair themselves. You want inflammation to be in a what we call the Goldilocks zone, right? Not too much, not too little, just right. And then this product, Nitro Extreme, or nitro in general, helps increase the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, or NO, is the compound that allows your blood vessels to open up so you can, first of all, deliver things to the cells, deliver nutrients, deliver oxygen, but also take away things from the cell, which is toxins and waste products and detritus that are from the damage. So you could think of, if I wanted to protect my body at the ultimate level, I would want to protect my cells from getting damaged in the first place. I would want to repair whatever damage gets through, and I would want to accelerate both of those processes by optimizing blood flow. Blood going in and blood going away, right? To get good stuff and take away bad stuff. So that would be a brilliant idea. But nobody had ever done it before until Kiani did it. And so, that is something that is really, really important for people to do. Sometimes people will look at this and say, well, yes, if I'm protecting my cells from damage and then I'm repairing the damage more efficiently, that's a physical health benefit. And yes, it is. But it's also a mental health benefit, because I wrote a whole book about this, that if that aspect of biochemistry is good, the physical body works better, the mental body works better. So you just feel better separate from your body operating better. Sometimes that's difficult for people to understand, but it's really, really important. And the reason I'm spending some time talking about this is that sometimes people look and they say, well, I have Triangle right now in my market. Should I just continue focusing on this? What happens when Happy Juice comes in? Is that going to displace what I'm doing with all this good talk that I have about Triangle and all the good stories that I've heard about how it's helped people? No, it doesn't displace anything. It gives people more options to decide which one of these is the one that I want to start out with. You could reasonably expect to say some people are going to choose Triangle over Happy Juice. Some people are going to choose Happy Juice over Triangle. Not because one is better than the other, but one set of products might meet their needs at that particular time of life better than the other. We're going to see as these product lines become more integrated with each other, we're going to see that sometimes people will choose one and then move to the other. Sometimes they'll choose the other and move to the one. Sometimes people will be combining them together. That's what I do, because I understand the biochemistry so well. I'm using these. I almost use the Triangle in my individual life. I almost use it like a sport nutrition line. So I will use nitro right before I go out for my workouts, whether I'm on my bike or I'm going to the gym or I'm going out for a run. I use sunrise every morning to help protect my cells from whatever I'm going to face that day. And I use sunset every night to help optimize that repair process. So if you do that, you're doing it in your muscles, you're doing it in your bones, you're doing it in your gut, you're doing it in your heart, you're doing it in your brain. And when all of that syncs together, you can't help but feel better, right? So that's what that is all about. The Triangle is a wonderful, wonderful place to be. There are always things that we can do to improve that. So myself as a scientist, I'm always looking for ways to enhance what we're doing in Happy Juice or Mood Plus or Kids Mood Plus or whatever the product might be. I'm also looking to do that in the Triangle. I'm also looking to do that in our proteins. I'm also looking to do that across our whole line. So when we have the ability to do that, as science advances, we're able to build all of that kind of stuff into our product line. And the reason I say that is that we're at a point now in the development of Amare where we were really new telling this story of mental wellness that nobody wanted to even talk about when we started in 2017. And now we're to the point now where we see so many competitors. Literally every day, a new company comes out saying, I have something for the gut. I have something for inflammation. I have something for blood flow. I have something that is a nootropic. Everyone is copying our story now, which is very flattering and a very good place to be. But I want you all to know as business builders that we are always on the cutting edge. So you're going to see some really, really exciting things coming out in the next, I just sent off our 4-year product roadmap. So the rest of this year and then the next 4 years, so really 5 years, you're going to see some really cool things at convention. You're going to see some really cool things next year and the next year and the next year and the next year. Rest assured, we are always going to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the competition. So when they start copying our story, we're not forgetting about our story, but we're on to the next iteration of our story, right? The next chapter of Amare, that next generation of how we can use the new science to impact somebody's life and to impact their life and the life of their family and their friends and their coworkers and their communities. That's what Amare is all about. So I thank you very much for giving me a few minutes to talk to you guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in person when I visit your market in the next couple of months. And so please introduce yourselves and let me know if I can help you with anything. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.